Welcome to tonight's episode of
Mythic Wyrd.
Mythic Wyrd.
Session 55. Give us a recap. You guys recap this one for me.
Not me.
I think Harakai should, since, you know, we're doing this for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I recapped the last one as well, but sure.
Do it.
We will still do
Are you
it.
complaining?
You got it.
No.
Where's your beard? You disgust me. Recap.
Can I? Yeah, I'm going to.
Where's your video?
So, where did we start with? We started. So at the start of last session, we just met Azir and loaded him up with a bunch of explosives. With the plan that he'd run in, looking like any other skeleton, grab Barbosa the monkey, and explode him, since he was the source of Barbosa's power. And
Plan that would never work.
sure.
Says Bjorn.
Yeah, says Viewer. And then Thalion and Kyla had just escaped through Kyla's awesome portal, saving Thalion. And yeah, so when the plan was all set, we went through this basically water tunnels that kind of sucked us through, and we made our way through this like to the shore and got shot out after being chased by a whole bunch of drowners. And then there we met Thalion and Kyla, lollygagged for a bit, and then Harakai and Dario went up to try and get to the ship with the key, using our orbs so that the drowners couldn't get us. Dario got stuck on the way up, but Harakai was able to sneak on board and give Azir the signal to blow up the monkey, which worked in a really, really cool way. Harakai was able to do the ship away as the warp stone was pulsing, about to explode. Just managed to save Dario from falling to his death, and in a quick scramble we all managed to get aboard the ship and just dodge out of the explosion. And
And he told you something. What was that again?
secret.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Well, just said the word secret.
Boring
It's
guy.
like, secret.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Is anything else missed?
Huge explosion is a pretty big one.
Probably Barbosa hidden on the airship. Probably missed that.
Yeah, we didn't see Barbo.
Roll for initiative. No. Yeah, so Barbosa was on the bloody grail underneath you guys when the explosion happens.
Yeah,
And
okay.
remember, it tore the camp apart, throwing shrapnel and debris everywhere. So he's either blown to bits but not dead, because he has to be returned to the water for his soul to actually be taken away. Or he is buried underneath the rubble somewhere. Or he's on the ship. Roll initiative.
How badly damaged was that airship? I don't remember.
It
Yeah,
was
Holy Grail.
Yeah. Scraped across the ground.
scraped across the ground. Joe drifted it as like Tokyo drift through the camp before pulling it apart. And keeping in mind that this airship would have been sitting here for years, like never
And
used.
it's raft size, isn't it? Like, smaller. than
Yeah,
the ship.
it's like cramped with all of you guys in there.
Oh, really?
wow.
That's one.
Okay, that's really small.
Just so I understand, is it still in the shape of a ship?
Yep.
But just smaller, yeah?
Yeah, to make it easier actually.
Do you not have any pacer inserts?
Was it?
Little pacer things?
So that's basically what you guys are in,
Oh!
except taking off. There's no top on it.
That's really cool.
Wait, sorry, you said there was no top, so do you mean
That blue bit. So
Ah,
that
yeah.
blue bit's, yeah, so there's like room for you guys to stand there.
Is
Okay,
there
cool.
a gunner thing there, though?
Yeah, there's one cannon at the front, and then there is a cannon to the rear, a Gatling cannon to the rear behind Harakai that has like 360.
Is there a lower
gets one
deck or
360.
it's just
there would be like a small door that you can open up, and one person at a time would be able to go lower deck, it'd be like filled with the engine and just spare bits,
Right.
but it would only fit one person at a time.
Is that warp zone?
Look away! You guys are supposed to be focusing on main detail.
Is there propellers on the top like that?
Oh, cool. I got a question. So if we're all standing in here, are we like rubbing elbows or?
Yeah, it's tight. Like it would be I would say it wouldn't be bigger. It would probably almost be as big as this table, like the area that you guys have to stand in. Maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah, maybe
So-
like
so
a tile.
They're
a
really
tile
only
bigger.
made for 2 or 3 people at a time.
Yeah, because it's only made for emergency. Like if something was to happen or a plane was to crash, it's designed essentially for 1 or 2 people to get back to the Sky City and then come back with help.
Is there a rudder on the bottom like this?
Yeah.
It's cool. Really cool. Is it made of metal as well, or more?
Yeah, so it's made of Aether gold, which is that metal that you guys see.
This thing's worth a fortune.
Yeah, we get to sell it.
No. Give it to Maverick. Second hand.
Do you still have your skyhook?
Yeah.
Can I have it?
Cool.
Alright, ready to go?
Let's do it.
Session 55. So, you guys all hold on for dear life as Harakai banks up the nose of the ship. You guys can feel the G-force and the pressure of the wind pushing against you as you guys arch up high into the air. Engines roaring, and the instruments in front of you just like lighting up and dials spinning wildly. You push her as far as you can to make sure you've gotten away from the blast before you steady her back out, and everyone kind of at the same time like, oh.
Do you have to do constitution, see if anyone sort of faints, passes out from the
Don't
G-force?
say that.
I mean nothing.
It was bearable. Like it was hard, but it was bearable to the point where you wouldn't have to make a check.
Is there any seatbelts?
No, there is no seatbelts. Don't fucking ask dumb questions.
I sure wasn't asking a dumb question. Like, how do they stay in it?
They've got mag boots and skyhooks, so they won't touch them.
How do we stay in it?
I said you were holding onto the side for dear life. Aren't you fucking listening? Björn falls off and dies. So, as you steady her out, Harakai, thick black smoke bellowing out of the exhaust ports as lights flash, alarms screech around you as they indicate like the engine's not warm enough, it hasn't been primed properly. All your indicators of hazards and things going wrong are lit up as the whole ship just shudders around you, and occasionally, for a second, power cuts out before the engine kicks back in. Dropping only 10 feet or so before the engine kicks back in.
Okay, it's pretty urgent, I take it, right?
It's pretty urgent, but you can feel that the further you go and the warmer the engine is getting, the more it seems to be settling down. But you took off so aggressively again, hasn't been turned on. Like if this was at the Skyport, you would have probably spent an hour checking over it, priming it, lubing up parts of the engine and things like that, turning it on for probably 10 minutes and then taking off with it.
Why is it flashing? What do you want me to press?
Don't press anything.
Press a button.
Don't. Do you actually? Okay. Sure. Is there any is there any autopilot thing or anything?
Not on this frigate. Like that. Okay. Oh, sorry. There is a very simple version though of just fly forward at this speed, this altitude, where the more advanced ships that you've been in, kind of have a bit more. It's almost like just
coordinates and it goes sort of thing.
Kind of like you think of this as a normal sailing ship. Like if you're just to tie off the wheel like a normal sailing ship, that could be considered autopilot. It's almost the same thing.
All right. I'm gonna do that. So I'm tying off the wheel. All right. Nobody touch anything. Yes. Nobody touch anything. I need to fix it. Otherwise, we're gonna fall to our death. Capiche?
Capiche.
That's dwarven.
That's
I need you to stay right there. Right there. You know, that rope over there, you could wind that up.
Got it.
This is a
And the
death
control
trap.
panel. I'm on it.
No,
I tap you on the shoulder and I stand at the wheel.
are you touching it? Are you like messing with it?
I'm gonna grab him and pull him away.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Guys, I've done this before.
Well, that's happening.
Yeah, I almost done.
Harakai's gonna go below decks and see if there's anything he can try and fix to try and make us fly smoother.
You unlatch the trapdoor to the bottom engine, and as soon as you open it, black smoke just bellows out into your face. It stinks of burnt oil and dust, and just stale everything. After the initial wolf, it's trickling out, but it's thin enough for you to go down there. Examining the engine quickly, you can see that it's mostly the main problem is like if you were just able to lubricate it, it would be okay.
Okay.
Quickly looking to the spot where the standard issue code is. You look to your right and you see the section where there's tools and spare fluids and stuff, and you quickly locate a flasket of lubricant. Gathering the right tools. You can go around dipping this sponge into this bottle that's specifically made for this. So you dip it in, take it out, takes off the excess oil, and then the parts that you needed to lubricate, you can unlatch and take off a guard that shows the moving part, and you can just hold it up to there, lubricating each one as you go.
Alright, sweet.
Within 10 to 15 minutes, the smoke has stopped, and you're satisfied with the copious amounts of oil and lube that you've put on everything.
Yeah.
But it'll just do to get you there for now.
Alright, sweet. Gonna take off my goggles. Alright. We haven't fallen yet, so that's good. And then I'm just gonna walk back up. What's going on?
What are the rest of you guys doing? Carla, Dario?
Can I do a perception check just over the side of the ship? I want to see what we're flying over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm assuming these bodies of water, but I just want to make sure.
Yep.
It's flying over any land or anything.
Sure, go ahead. 7. So at this distance, you're pretty much through the clouds now, but the last thing you did see was water and no land nearby, and you're flying straight, but you're also pitched up at an angle, still climbing, getting altitude.
Yeah.
As you come up deck, you can hear just the sound of the revs just sound a lot smoother to you, as you there's just a satisfied feeling in you. And you can feel the ship, where there were shutters before, they've kind of smoothed out.
Harakai, you are a genius. You're really good at this.
While he was doing that, on top deck, anything as we climb, pushed towards the back of the ship but stayed there, I've tried to sort out and spread out over the ship if there is anything still on there.
Yeah. Mostly debris and ropes and things like that for the ship. Little everything on there is essentially designed for emergency. So there's flares, there's dried rations, packed in bags and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But all sliding around, and you do a good job of spreading that weight out.
I'm going to go through my stuff, sit put, and I just want to roll a d6 for the Staff of Healing to see how much charges it recovers. It was a new dawn previously, I didn't roll it.
Yep.
Oh, that's really good.
I'm gonna go
How many
sit
check?
on this cannon.
6 plus
like,
4,
straight over
it's
my legs.
fully...
Enjoy the
Yeah.
ride.
Andre is just holding on to it.
Is it shaky or is it? Sorry, Kevin.
The
The
ship.
shit, the trouble.
It was shuddering, and as the engine loses power and then gains power, it's dropping in altitude and stuff. It's still there's no power cut out anymore, But every now and then it's like shudders for a little bit as the engine picks back up.
How fast are we going?
You'd be going like 100 k's,
Oh, wow.
120 k's.
Yep. Cool.
That's pretty speedy.
Jo's just holding on, and then she's gonna like make sure that Az is tied to her with a little rope, and she's almost gonna like try and put him on the edge to see if he'll fly. Bring him back with her head.
He gets your idea and he puts in his little goggles, and as soon as you like put him off the side, his mouth like catches in the wind, his cheeks expand, and it's like, and it just looks like he's suffocating when you bring him back in. But he's enjoying it and he wants to go again. You let him out, his spreads his wings out like.
I love him.
And he pretty much like almost like goes from like a tiny lizard to like it fills up like a balloon, like a tube balloon, just fills up.
Love
What is this thing like? Where is its bones?
Does he have like a little backpack?
it. No.
Wet Snout's relative.
It's like a cartoon character invaded our D&D.
I'm just gonna get a little bit of excess rope and kind of tie an extra handle, like just for extra security.
Yeah, is anyone going to talk to each other, by the way?
Yeah, as I'm walking up, I see Dory tying his
Like,
up.
you guys are pretty much, like, see this table? This is how close you guys are, and this would be where Joe is. And even, like, the hatch, you guys would have to almost lean over the side for Harakai to open it and go underneath.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk past Dory, and as I see him tying the latch, I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder. Don't puke, alright?
And I'm holding on to it. I'm like, I've fallen enough for today.
This is so fun.
Yup, just please don't fall off.
I want to actually.
And
I kind of want to.
Stop that with Az.
Ready? Look at this.
Oh my.
It immediately
Like
gets
walking-
picked up by the wind and expands.
Oh, we're all gonna die.
It's flying.
And Harakai is just gonna make his way to the wheel. Alright, so before we get there, we're gonna need to set some ground rules, alright? So, when we're there, assume you know nothing. Alright? It's gonna be tough for you especially. But just don't talk. Just please don't talk.
Do you know how
Why?
to get us there?
Because nobody cares if you're a lord up here. Nobody
It's not the
cares.
first thing out of my mouth, typically.
Step.
Usually I ask for a drink first.
That's even worse.
To be fair, nobody here cares that you're a lord.
I don't care. No one cares.
Look, I'm just saying, don't expect them to do anything for you.
Assuming they're alive.
Yes.
You know, we could just turn this ship to Norska. Find my father. This cannon would do good against him, I imagine.
You wanna jump out? Be my guest.
That's not how we do things around the Fate Chosen.
I'm shaking my head at you disapprovingly.
Wow.
It would be a fun little experiment.
It's just a thought, guys. We're allowed to have we're allowed to have opinions.
Even if they're.
I like it.
they're
What? Look.
What needs to be done, Harakai?
Well, I think from here it's rough sailing, but we should be able to manage. But look, if you guys really wanted to go to Norska, why did you come in the first place? I gave you the option.
It's just a suggestion. Just calm down.
Sorry, but
I mean, it's just the end of the world. Potentially.
see, this smart assery is gonna
Actually-
get you killed.
Sooner or later, yeah, it will.
Yes, probably sooner on the airships.
I mean,
Look, you're lucky that you're with me, but on the airship, if you pull anything like that, they're gonna throw you off.
how about you leave the people talk to me?
No, that's exactly what I'm saying not to do.
We'll follow
Let's
your
just
lead,
get there
Harakai.
first.
All of us will. I say, glaring at Bjorn.
I know nothing. I swear. Oh, that's not my hat. I swear.
Alright, cool. It's just, I just want to make it clear that nobody's gonna care about you or what happens to you here. Okay?
Sorry, I'm sorry. Does that mean we can steal stuff if no one's gonna watch us? Like,
When I say don't care about you, I mean most people are gonna hate you.
um,
Just straight off the get-go. Alright? That's just the first impression with any dwarf, alright?
Typically unreasonable.
I agree, but it's what it is.
Do you still have your dwarf belt?
Okay. So now we got that out the way. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah. How dangerous is it in the skies right? Like, are we gonna expect any trouble getting there?
Near the Skyport is probably where the most trouble's gonna be. Since that's where the vein of Aether Gold are and, you know, monsters like to eat Aether Gold. So, the closer we get, there's more risk, but I don't know what's gonna happen when
What are we
actually get
expecting?
there. I have no idea.
Dragons.
In terms of creatures?
In terms of your people.
I'm as lost as you are. Sorry.
I mean, other than them being rude assholes, apparently.
You're not making a good case for yourself.
All I'm saying is we can't be the only outsiders,
We can. We definitely can.
but we all accepted you.
Yeah, but
But
I'm saying you can accept them, but they're definitely not going to accept you. And that's just how it's going to be. They don't... We even do minimal trade with the people down on the surface. We just do it for once a month for supplies. So...
I feel like we're all the bad girlfriend that you're bringing over to meet your parents.
he's so dramatic.
No.
Couldn't you vouch for us?
Oh, what do you mean? Oh, I could,
Say
but
we're like a good lot. And all that.
you clearly haven't met a dwarf before. Aside from me. They're super stubborn. The first impression's the only impression.
Right. So we make it a good one.
Yes, but don't run your mouth.
Alright.
I put my hand
I'll
on
behave.
Harakai's shoulder. I'm like, oh, this is your ship now, Captain.
It's barely a ship, really. But
So for you know, from Harakai's point of view, and we didn't talk about this much in there, but no one has been to the Sky City. Like bringing you guys is like admirals would probably be trying to find a loophole in the code to execute you and execute the rest of your friends.
Okay.
we don't know that though.
You don't know that, but you know, in person, that's what Harakai is trying.
I could just make myself look like a dwarf.
And then when they find out inevitably that you are not a dwarf, what happens then? You get murdered and that after...
Congratulate me on the trick. You said it was the first impressions that mattered.
How about
God's
just
sake.
listen to Harakai, the cousin?
Alright.
Look, you do this wrong, someone's gonna get killed.
Fine.
Okay?
Or we
Alright.
could drop you off somewhere, if you prefer.
Do you agree with this, Dario?
I think Harakai knows what he's talking about, and we should respect his wishes, because I know what it's like when your friends don't play nice for meeting certain people.
See?
Okay, Drea?
He gets it.
Anything from Drea?
I just think this is fun.
Is
I'm not into a
everyone
snack.
against me?
Kyle's just giving you like an eye.
I
Alright.
definitely think we should park the idea of murdering your father later, though, after. Or first.
Wait, if we're murdering people's
We should
fathers,
just do that.
We're murdering people's fathers. Can we murder mine first?
We should make a list. Harakai, do you have a father? He could be the first one.
Stop!
Thank you.
This is not a trifle matter.
Big
Yes,
word.
as I saw, calm down before he breaks the mast and takes us all down.
Skyport, see this?
I grab Yawn by the shirt.
I'm on the cabin.
It's a small ship.
Yes, cousin. In for a hug.
Or we could drop you off.
Look, let's not kill anyone before we even get there, alright? So put him down. I appreciate it, but just a little less.
Tell you what.
Let him go. I'm like, yes, Captain.
Straighten myself up. I'm like, tell you what. I will follow your lead. But if any of your dwarf friends start on me, then I will have to defend my honor. That is only fair.
Look, I understand it's fair, but it's also probably gonna get you killed.
Yes, but if they go, oh look, it's a filthy human, I'll probably get offended.
God damn it.
Maybe not a human, but yeah. I'm just saying, alright, I'll follow your lead. It's fine.
But you can't, don't do anything. If they say something like that, you can't act up. Otherwise, you're not only gonna get yourself in trouble, but all of us in trouble.
I won't act up.
You sure?
Probably.
That's not convincing. You're really bad at this. Look, you have to promise me.
How long is this ride?
It's a long ride, but I need to make sure you're not gonna get us killed.
I will be the one saving you.
Not what I wanted to hear.
That's the reason I'm going to protect your back. Right?
Yes.
And you've got mine. Perfect. Deal.
Okay. Cool.
Cool.
Promise.
Yes.
Say it.
I promise to have your back.
Okay, cool. Any other questions?
What are the dwarf women like?
Oh, for God's sake.
Just so I know, so I know
Harakai
what
just
to expect.
accelerates. He just turns on the wheel and just accelerates.
It's about 45 to 50 minutes on this trip. Upward, slightly steep incline as you guys gain altitude and put the island further and further behind you guys. Going at about, in some places about 150 k's an hour. It is a fast, wind lashing trip. You're surrounded by clouds with no visibility of anything around you guys, but following the instruments and the gadgets at the helm, you are confident in they heading in the right direction.
Cool.
I need everyone to make a perception check.
Natural 20.
Ooh, 21.
10.
16.
Dirty 20.
23.
Oh, dang.
So that was all 20s on this side.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
20, dirty 20.
Holy
Damn.
cow.
Wow. Alright, so what'd you get beyond 10?
Yes.
So everyone
A respectable
except
number.
Björn, as you guys are heading through these thick clouds, immediately in front of you, a dark spot in the clouds just seems to grow and grow and grow
Come on.
before another one. Then, like speckled, almost like stars, like dark stars in the white clouds, these looming figures grow larger and larger. You immediately recognize them as skyships.
Ooh.
But there's something odd about the way they're not even flying, but they seem to be stationary and banked, most of them, to one side. As you get closer, the white clouds turn to a greyish, then a blackish smoke-filled cloud, and you can smell burning oil and that like a very metallic smell of aether gold that's being set alight.
Oh, shoot.
Your heart drops.
Harakai.
What's the color of the ship?
You're just clearing the clouds now, and you see a purple and gold ship.
Okay.
A frigate class, banked to one side, smoke bellowing out of its base as the fuel tank at the rear gushes out like a light blue flame. It looks like the fuel tank has been hit as this flame just bursts in the air, and then stops and then occasionally roars up again as the smoke bellows out from the ship.
Do I see anything nearby the ship or just the ship?
You don't see anything nearby the ship, but there is several ships cluttered around or like floating around, of similar style, all of them battle damaged. And as you slowly get closer, you idle the engine and just let it coast a little bit as you coast past it. The ship is empty, but the thing that catches your eye is the battle damage itself. It's not beast, it's not magic,
No.
it's Caradrim weapons.
Shoot.
You slowly float past the dead vessel, nobody aboard it, as the engine's clearly dead, but its gravity pulsators just keeping it afloat, as it's just banked to one side and just floating slowly further and further away from the Sky City. The scene is repeated several times. Ships, some of them look like they're almost still locked in combat, floating next to each other. You can see blast holes from all, like ships from all different clans, close quarters. You can see skyhook rigging lines shot from one to the other as you know they've boarded each other. And finally, the Skyport appears in front of you. For you guys, it looks like 6 large ships with one largest ship in the middle. And when I'm saying large ships, bigger than any ship, bigger than the Dark Elf ship you'd have seen. These ships would be
Back to Skyport?
5 stories high, and like each one looks like it would house 1,000 people on there.
Is it roughly still the same sort of shape, just like
Yeah,
blown up?
yeah. Between these 6 ships, a city has been built upon them and around them as bridges reach out, spanning large distances across to each other. Observation towers spire out to the clouds. Buildings and roads and everything are all clustered together, and the foundations of it are these 6 ships with this singular ship in the middle that connects them all. It's a rough circular city with dead ships all around it. Hundreds, maybe even thousands of ships float around on fire, dead or crashed into the Sky City itself. The city itself, most of it is on flames, bellowing black smoke out into the atmosphere. As occasionally something ruptures, and you see it as it ruptures, letting out a massive mushroom cloud before the shockwave comes through, and you guys hear it, the explosion in the distance.
In the city? Yeah. In the Skyport?
What the hell's going on?
I'm assuming I'd see some Barak-Zulfin ships along the way.
Correct.
Do I see Giant Slain or any other ships I recognise?
There's hundreds of ships. There is a few that you recognise. There is the Shrewd Bounty, one of the Derek Den clans. You fly past another one, the Flying Article, a Barak-Zulfin ship, torn to shreds by cannon fire.
What could have done this?
Shoot. Ourselves. And Harakai is going to pick up the pace and make towards the Skyport, like Sky City.
Barrack Sylphin? Or like, did you want to head towards the Barrack Sylphin portion of it, or just generally towards the city?
Just generally towards the city.
The engine winds up again as you put the accelerator up, and you guys push forward, sailing through a graveyard of ships.
Is it safe? Whatever destroyed them could come for us.
Actually, that's a good point. Is this ship coloured?
This ship?
Mm.
No. It's scoured. It's mostly old gold, but it's not shiny gold because it's been there for so long. But it's a ship for all clans, so there's no marking on it.
Kyle is going to do a healing spell for everyone. How's everyone's health?
I'm full health actually.
I'm full.
Oh, okay. What are you on?
26, 29, 59.
I'm down about 23 points or something. Joe, you're bloodied.
Yeah, I remember it was pretty bad.
In that case, I might do the AoE healing.
I mean, did you say you're full health?
No, I'm 29 at
29,
59.
yeah.
I'm full health.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Panic slowly starts to rise in your Harakai as you get closer and closer to the Sky City. And the Sky City itself is riddled with battle damage. All kind of ordnance has been used. Like, nothing is spared. You can see crater holes marked from weapons that you were taught in class, and you can recognize the scorch marks and the size of the craters, and you're in disbelief that whatever's happened, it's been done by your own people. The Sky City itself, massive city, almost like in size, it's compact, but you can tell the sheer size of it. It looks a lot bigger than what you first expected. It houses about 500,000 people, with ships docked everywhere on it. Massive docking grounds, bigger than Arnau's. Multiple levels where you can see ships have still docked there or damaged while they've been docked there. Scatter the whole city, and smoke bellows out from the whole thing.
Sorry, so I don't know if we'd know this, but the Skyport itself, so is there multiple clans living in the one Skyport, or is there multiple Skyports?
In this current Skyport, there is, we'll call it a Sky City, there is 6 clans.
And that
Sky
represents
City.
by, I take it, each of the ship that's being port?
Yeah.
I rolled a 26 for health, by the way.
So we all get.
So everyone gets 26 health.
What was that with the rod?
Yeah.
Harakai is going to
5 charges.
Harakai's gonna start heading towards the Barrack Zilfin docks.
You guys do anything, or
I just look over at Harakai. I'm like, "Are you okay?"
Would you be?
You're right. Dumb question.
Harakai's just silent the whole time.
as you get closer to the Barrack Sylphin part of the city, you can see that it's taken heavy damage, with most of the docks actually unusable and destroyed. There's a few sections where you can park, and eventually you choose one as you bring in the Fortune Wind, banking it slowly. You hit a lever, ejecting hooks out the side of the ship that line up with rings on the dock, and as you slowly bring it in, they hook, closing on themselves, holding the ship in place as it kind of lurches forward as it hooks into place.
Does
An automatic generator kicks up, and a bridge is brought up to your ship as a fuel pump is opened. Usually there would be like hundreds of dwarves here, inspecting the ship, refueling it as you guys came up. Dead. With battle damage everywhere. You can see barricades have been made here. Pieces of iron put together to make small walls, blasted to pieces by weapons. The only sound you can hear is the humming of your engine at the moment.
As soon as the bridge is close enough, Harakai is going to jump out, tap his boots to activate them, and then Harakai would Harakai have a helmet on him? Or
Up to you, I think we've never really discussed it. But I mean, you came from there, so I presume you
have my own. Yeah, alright, and then he'll reach into his bag, put his helmet on, activate it, and just say, follow me.
For the rest of you guys, the air is thin up here, and as you guys step off the ship, you feel lightheaded as you cross the bridge. By the way, the bridge itself, comes out. There's no railing or anything. It's just a bridge with a steep fall on either side. But as you guys went higher in altitude, the air is thin here, and you can already feel yourselves getting lightheaded. As Harakai starts to lead you guys inside through big, massive bay doors that open up, allowing, they're hundreds of feet wide and hundreds of feet tall, allowing like massive ships to slowly sail out of the dock. It is a super surreal and like awe-looking place. Like nothing you've even the most impressive cities you've been to pale in the weird, steampunk city that it is, floating with nothing holding it up except the power of the Aether Gold. That
I can't believe we're here. That's not what I was expecting.
yeah.
Yeah. As we're crossing the bridge, Bjorn just can't help but gawk a little bit. I'll just mutter to himself, fascinating. And I want to walk to the edge of the bridge and just just look over the edge and just see
thick clouds underneath you, with dead ships just occasionally, slowly, eerily floating past.
Yeah. Are these ships still? I assume they're like motorized or something to be floating, right?
Yeah. So if you were to ask Harakai, they have their main engine, and then each ship has a gravity pulsator. So even if the engine dies and the gravity pulsator isn't damaged, it's still able to keep it afloat, but it can't fly.
How does a boat float? I'll say, 'cause I don't know that. John answers, I'll get back up and follow him.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm gonna lean into Harakai as we walk.
Harakai is off.
Oh, okay.
He's
sprinting.
Yeah, he's off at a jog, and he's going to pull off his shield, and just hold it on him. And as he's running in Dwarvish, he's going to say, "Hello, anyone, Yavir."
Your voice echoes out into the holding bay, bouncing off all the metallic objects that are in there, reverberating back at you. And it's such a weird sound, because usually there'd be like whirling machines and pistons going and people screaming and shouting at each other, trades coming in and out, hammering. Like it's such an industrial place, and just to hear your own voice bouncing back at you is unsettling as your dread grows deeper and deeper.
Can I do just a general sense on the place? I kind of want to investigate, but I want to see if there's something like unnatural that happened here, or if it is just civil war, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So make a investigation check or insight check.
Which one? If there is anything undead, though, I get advantage on it.
Yeah.
If there is anything like that, undead, celestial, or faith.
Yeah. Nothing.
I'm gonna pull my axe out just because of that uneasy feeling. So. I don't know that it's safe for us to be here.
No, someone has to be here. And in Dwarvish, Harakai is just going to continue shouting, like, "Hello! I'm a friend! It's Harakai! Anyone?"
Your voice bounces back at you as your eyes come to the first casualty. A Barrack Sylphan from your own clan, face down. You can still see the crater in his back from from a cannon from a ship that shot him as it's flying past. His back, that entry hole is quite perfect, but if you were to flip him over on the other side, he would almost have no front.
Oh wow.
And as you stare and hurry, you notice he's in full wartime gear. Cutlass in his hand and a pistol in the other. He just lays in a pool of his own dried and crusted blood. Pieces of his armor that were blown out from the shot scatter around him. Thick chunks of aether gold are just scattered around everywhere around him. As you start seeing more and more of these scattered on the head.
I was going to say, can I investigate the body and maybe determine how long ago?
Mm-hmm.
Investigation?
Mm-hmm.
While that happens, Harakai with tears in his eyes is like, before he was like jogging, now he's just sprinting and absolutely screaming, like, "Anyone! Anyone!" And he's just gonna keep running.
33.
You roughly estimate about 2 weeks.
Cool.
How long?
2 weeks ago.
I'm going to sprint after Harakai and also in Dwarvish be shouting out, "Hello, where is everyone?"
Is there anything on the person of this dwarf?
Other than his weapons and his armor, there's a few tools on him.
Is there like any communicators like I've seen Harakai use?
It would be inside of his helmet.
I wouldn't know that though. Yeah. Okay, I'll take off after that as well.
No.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Just take it off after. Just
Yeah.
for the group.
Awesome. Your footsteps just echo super loud around you guys as you run across this thick metal platform closer and closer to. This is still all outside as part of the dock, but as you guys run closer and closer, Harakai, you breach one of the first bulkhead doors that go underground, or not underground, inside underneath the city. And all around you, as you get closer and closer, crossing now like this narrow bridge to this door, you see the levels below you and the levels above you, bodies scattered everywhere. And clans of every clan here, there's bodies scattered everywhere. You're getting some kind of idea of what's happening, as you can see, certain clans bunched together, and like a Barrack Sylphan, lies with lying with a Barrack Rendell line, like there almost seems to be gun lines against a Barrack Aaron and a Barrack Azum line that look like they've been going at each other, but you can't understand why and how these alliances are forged. But it's clear that a civil war has broken out among these clans. You reach the first bulkhead, and there's a delay before it opens, and you immediately recognise that the main power's out and it's running on some kind of generator. Aether gold squirts out from pistons above it as the bulkhead opens up, revealing a dark corridor in front of you. Red warning lights flash every few seconds, lighting up the eerie corridor in red before submerging darkness again. Lighting up in red, and then going dark again. Bodies scatter the hallway.
Are we all together, or are they like way ahead?
They're way ahead of streaming, but we don't take you guys, 15 seconds to catch up.
Did you stop?
Yeah,
Forward?
Harakai is just going to collapse to his knees. And he's just going to put his hands in his hair and just look down at the ground. He's like, they're meant to be here. Where are they? They're meant to be here. And he's just going to sit there.
I'm going to drop next to Harakai. I'm going to take his shoulders in my hand and sort of lift his head up. And Dwarfish say to him,
There's got to be somewhere safe here. The children, the dwarves. Get up. There's no time to give up, Harakai. Get up.
Would Harakai know, like, in an emergency like this, would the clans gather in, like, the Barrack Day Hall or something?
Yeah, definitely. Like, that would be the most safe and armoured bit. But it is definitely a track to get to it from where you guys currently are.
Would it be faster to take Fortune's Wind there?
Not really, because there's no real place to dock on it, because
Yeah.
it's like the ship, but then it's been all built around it. You would have to go through the tunnels right now.
Harakai, think. Where
But
would
yeah.
your people go?
Definitely the best place. Whenever you guys were attacked from things that we spoke about before, if it was days, all the women and children would be, sheltered underneath there. Probably in not in the lowest, probably in the second lowest part of the deck, where it's well armored, and they would have to go into the ship instead of attacking it from the outside to get to them and stuff like that.
Sorry, hearing Thalian say that, just want to peer into the hallway where all those bodies are. Are they all armoured, all men, all battle ready, sort of?
From what you can see here, yeah, all warriors.
Just sort of verifying what he said.
Yeah.
It's possible.
It wasn't meant to be like this, though.
sorry, I said it in Dwarvish, but yeah.
It wasn't meant to be like this, though. They were meant to be here, and I was meant to come here and.
Harakai, you are here.
There's only one other place I could be.
Then lead on. You weren't put in charge of this.
And I point to Galmaraz.
Just to give up at the doors. Now get up.
Harakai's just gonna pull his skyhook off his back and then put it into the ground and kind of like push himself up. And he's gonna look back. Has everyone caught up by now?
Yeah.
Alright, be ready. And then he's going to walk down the hall.
Just
Wait.
looking around at the dead dwarves, is there any sort of weapons that we could potentially use? Like,
There is. So there's a lot of black powder weapons. There's a few intricate looking aether gold weapons. And then you find on what looks like to be a captain almost, his armor's more ornate. He looks, even though all of them are good quality, this looks even better quality. And as he lays on the ground, there is a two-handed axe in his hand, or that's fallen out of his hands, but it has 2 tubes that run back towards a pack on his back. That's probably the most impressive looking item. there.
Connected to the pack.
Yeah.
Okay. If I was to take it, I'd have to take the pack as well. Is it easy to
It's
take
not like
or-
chained to it. It's like it looks like these are part of the weapon.
Gas.
Yeah.
Is it easy to sort of take or not really?
It would take probably about 10 minutes, like because you'd want to keep it in one piece so you could wear it as well, or attach it to yourself somehow.
Can I disconnect the hoses and take the axe?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm gonna do that.
When you go over, Harakai's just gonna call out. No. Blacksmith always dies with his tools. Amendment 3 of the code.
Hearing that, I leave it and follow Harakai.
Oh wait. Well, what's the plan here?
Yeah, what's exactly going on? Like,
I understand this is difficult, but
Do you think I know? I've
Well,
come home and everyone I know is dead.
unless you want to end up like them, we should probably consider some sort of strategy.
Well, the only other place I know they could possibly be is in the Barrack Day Hall. So we go there.
Where's that? Where is it?
Up there.
Yeah, you would know you're in the
Yeah.
tunnels now, but you know the general direction.
Yeah.
These are halls you've walked hundreds of times before, and they look spanning and expensive to you guys. Like imagine, how I was explaining to you, imagine you guys are in Moria, and there's tunnels and bridges everywhere, and then just replace that with a steampunk skin. It's the cult. You can tell the culture is exactly the same, and then whenever you hit a room, it's a massive room. With massive statues, taller than any empire building or castle that you guys have been in. But it's all industrial. Pipeworks running the length of it, lights and gauges everywhere. But it's a vast network.
Where he pointed, where's that? Like, nice.
You guys are in the tunnel, so he's pointed in the general direction. Like you guys are in a tunnel.
Oh, so where we were sprinting, we were in a tunnel?
No, so have you gone through yet? Or you're still
I
at
wanted
the
to
edge?
hold him
Front?
before he went
Yeah,
through.
sorry. So he would be pointing, to a wall really. But if you kind of, took a steps back and kind of looked, it would be to one of the largest ships painted white and blue.
Is it far?
Walking probably an hour and a half.
All right. That one there. All right. Well, that's a distance. Is it safe? Should we consider taking the corridor that doesn't have all of the dead dwarfs in it?
As you say that, like as you're saying if it's safe or not, I need everyone to make a constitution saving throw except for you, Joel.
Yeah.
Constitution saving throw. 14.
I got a 9.
I got 18.
4, 18, 9,
I got 13.
13, and
14.
Oh, sorry. I got 16.
okay, Drea, you're all feeling the effects, but Drea, you're the one feeling the most. The air is so thin here, and you're to the point where you're not even there. Like, you're like, what the fuck? As you're just trying to keep alive, or like, keep breathing. You guys are the same, but you're aware of what's happening around you guys. And it dawns on you that, if they can't be out here, and even inside of it, inside, like we spoke about, but
Yeah.
outside, it's going on them.
Okay.
Look, all I'm saying is,
Yeah, you
Should
guys
we-
are panting. Like,
should
even
we-
talking is an effort.
should we just catch a breather, figure out what we're gonna do next? That's all I'm saying.
Are there any spare helms or anything that they leave next to the docks or something?
No, because it's like everyone's it's their own.
Mm.
Like, you know, it's just something that everyone has.
Okay.
And then obviously if you're inside, you don't need it.
Right. Right. I mean, clearly, whatever did this, we're not capable of taking out. We're outnumbered. God, it's hard to breathe. Right.
Come this way. I'm just gonna walk down the hall.
All right. So you walk past.
Sorry, can we physically see that Dre is struggling?
Yeah,
I was gonna
you'll be
say,
like on your hands and knees
Yeah,
at this
Dre's
point.
at this point, and every time the light turns red, she's covering her eyes and just been like, not again, not again, not again.
Alright. Before we
Ah,
sort of
yeah. Az is on his back at the moment, and he's like.
Delia steps on him. Walking past.
alright, so before I follow Harakai, I'm gonna go to Drea. I'm gonna sort of lift her up and I'm like,
Even the action of like you bend down too fast, and you stay yourself for a second as the web spins around you, before you loop an arm around her and like lift her up slowly. As you're trying to keep, conscious.
Take slow breaths, girl.
Look, if you want to breathe, come in here.
Not again, not again.
I'll walk to Thalian and kind of like, if he needs help, I'll just put his arm around me and kind of help him through.
Carla?
Yukaila's spacing out.
My heart is beating so fast right now.
Harakai will pick Kyler up.
Pick him up.
Well, not pick him up, but like
Like, totally.
wrap his arm around me, I guess, and walk him over into the hall.
I look around and I find that everyone's looked after. I just
So as you guys make it past the bulkhead doors, it's like a room and then the corridor. And Harakai, for you understand that it's a room where you step in, the room's pressurized, and then the second bulkhead opens up. But the second bulkhead is open, and it's jammed. It's so the door that you guys walk through closes behind you guys. Before you go and check the gauge in the room, and you should see that the pressure's low. This part of the area is not getting pressurized, and the backup generator, like each part of the city is like a little subsection with its own backup generator to keep the room pressurized and everything like that. And it's clearly not on, as the emergency lights just switch on, switch off, or if it is on, it's not generating enough power to kick in the pressurizer.
Shoot.
What's wrong?
There's no pressure in here, so you're not going to be able to breathe for a while. What does Harakai know where the next possible pressured room is?
You check the little dwarven map that has kind of this subsection. You know it already, but you have a quick glance, and yet you know where the generator room of this subsection would be.
Okay,
and you know that if you're in this subsection and the pressurizer is not on, it probably means that the bulkheads that lead to the other sections are locked tight and they won't open.
So I'd need to go down to the generator to fix this area before we can go. How far is that?
20 minutes.
They don't look like they're going to last 20 minutes, right?
They...
Will we adjust, when you first get on a boat or something?
No, because there's not enough oxygen in there. They will, but it'll be probably a slow pace. Drea at this stage looks like the only one that's suffering the most. And from understanding all the things they've been taught in the academy and the school and stuff, if she goes to sleep, that's when it starts getting bad, because that means her body's shutting down to just to keep her brain alive. But at the moment she is awake, she's just not very conscious of what's going on around her.
Harakai's going to...
Can we make this right?
oh, this one.
That would be perfect.
Should I make my magical dome? Would that help? Oh, they're still.
No.
Oh, what? Sorry.
Harakai is going to.
Oh, what about your rope?
No, what?
Rope magic and
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have any spell slots left. So Harakai is going to walk over to a corpse. He's going to first off make sure it's Barrett Zilfin. He's going to take a knee, and then he's going to grab their hand and he's going to put 150 gold in it and close it. It's going to say, I'm in Vintfort. A blacksmith dies with his tools unless you pay for his work. And he's going to put it in his hands and then take off the helm and then pass it to Dre.
You slowly drag off the helm, revealing a younger male. You can't quite remember his name, but you've seen his face multiple times in your classes. And as you peel it off, it's just, it is, you know, you just have those flashbacks and you almost freeze there with a second, like the helm half off his head as you just stare at his pale blue flesh. You finish taking it off, but it's like the better thing to do probably, because it won't be like a tight proper fix. You almost need like the rest of the suit with it.
Yeah.
It's probably take out that part of it and that part of his pack,
Okay.
and you know, put it to Dre's mouth.
Yeah, I'll do that. And then I'm going to go around. How many other? I need 4 more others. Alright, Harakai is going to go do the same for other bodies as well.
Awesome. Just keeping in mind that it's again, because it's not part of the suit. The suit would be pressurized, and that's what, you know, it helps him give that oxygen. This would definitely help, but it's just a band-aid at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like a diving apparatus sort of thing.
Almost, but it's like because it's not part of the suit. Like it's designed in the suit to fill up the whole suit and pressurize the whole suit.
Yeah.
And like it's kind of like you're trying to cop it, you know, in your hand. So it's not practical, but yeah, it's
So it'll keep
helping.
us alive.
Yeah.
how long would it typically last for? Or is it?
With like they're usually designed for longer trips. Like again, Joe, you'll know this. Like when they're out mining for the gold, you know, they're generally 4 weeks, but it's like, you know, you fill it up again at the end of the day. You know, depending on how much you're using, and you know, obviously if you're running at pressure, you know, it's pumping more oxygen into the suit and everything like that. Where out of this thing, it's just pissing out oxygen at the moment, so it'll probably last you a day. And keeping in mind it's been laying here for at least 2 weeks.
As soon as he gives Dreya's, I'm just gonna use it on her and make sure she starts breathing and, you know, is back on
You're
her
almost like
feet.
cupping it to, you know, to her mouth for the first few seconds before you probably, you know, get her own hands and get her to cop it to her. Essentially right now it's 2 tubes really that you're just trying to cop the oxygen in.
Yeah, Harakai's going to do the same ritual for other people, dropping the money in each of their hands, and each time in Dwarvish he's going to say, I'm sorry, before moving to the next one. Alright, in order to get to the next room, we're going to need to fix the generator, otherwise the doors will remain shut. So the generator is about 20 minutes. Let's go, I guess.
Before we head off again, I'm just gonna get my trident out, use it sort of as a walking spear as well, sort of steady myself.
Yeah. Joe, as you're getting up, you realise there's an echo of a distant, repeated thud. 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 and you trace your eyes to where the source of the sound is coming from. And as the lights flash in and out, it's like the hallway that you guys in leads to multiple hallways, but looking down the hallway, it's you could estimate it's about 600 meters before it comes to a T section. And right at the end, as the lights flash back red, you see a distant figure head on the wall. And then that sound echoes. Lights go off, he disappears. They come back on.
Hello? Hello? And Harakai's just gonna start running down.
Your boots are loud and obnoxious in this hallway. As you guys just see Harakai sprint off down the hallway towards this guy.
I'll turn him.
Yep. I don't know what's going on, but I don't want to be by. Yeah, we should stick as a group.
As you call out and your boots echo towards him, you see him disappear and a light comes back on. And he's facing you at the end of the hallway. And in the dim light, you can see his helmet has been almost cracked or blown apart across half his face. And you can see half his ornate helmet and the other half, his eyes. Even at this distance, you can tell they're just diluted and wild. Blood crusted all over his face and his beard as the lights go out again.
Hurry.
You come closer, lights come back on, flashing red. And he says the lights go back off, and as they do, he says in a weird, mad voice in Dwarvish, "Don't look at it. Keep your eyes closed." The lights come back on, and you can see something in his hand. They go back off. You're getting closer. They come back on, and you notice it's a blade, raised halfway up his chest. Goes off, comes back on.
I'm
You see the
sprinting
blade
as fast as
at
I
his
can.
throat.
As fast as I can, I want to grab
You're
his
still
arm.
400 meters away from him. The lights go off, and you just hear
No,
a squelching noise as he screams before it's replaced with a gurgling, choking sound. The lights come on. He's on his knees, wild eyes still staring at you. They go off. You're running, furious, angry, confused, scared. They come back on. And he's not there.
Fuck.
Is that blood on the ground and stuff?
The light reflects off the wet, shimmering blood on the floor.
Where the fuck did he go?
Weapons out. Weapons out.
Should we just leave? I mean, we're all thinking it, right?
Harakai's walking towards the generator.
Towards him? Oh, towards him or towards the
Oh.
generator? At this section, you know you have to go right. He's straight on ahead,
But his body's not there.
but he's not there.
When Harakai said weapons out, Kyle's gonna prepare the cantrip.
I'm gonna go towards where he was.
That's
Are we doing this?
Right.
What's that?
What is happening? I
Rick,
really don't
We'll
know.
be back in a little bit.
Oh, will we?
I have a theory.
Oh my gosh.
The dwarf sky zombies.
Is it?
No,
Is it the thing we
No, it's not
saw in the sword?
Hey guys, this is Nords, also known as Stallion. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and leave a comment down below. And remember, keep spreading the mythic word.